Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with tonight's World of Warships Legends shenanigans. We are on Sleeping Giant, and I am rocking the Druid. So this is the Tier 8 British destroyer that you can rent right now, right? So I'm sure at some point it will be permanently in the game. I think that the developers tend to I feel like they haven't done this in a while, and so to the point where I forgot that they do rentals, and so then I accidentally spent doubloons on renting it and really didn't want to. But here we are today, right? We are playing the Druid. I'm not bitter at all. And yeah, so we'll go. I chose. I spawned off to the A side cap, and I chose not to go around the outside, just because. We are kind of a gunship with sonar. I felt like my resources would be best be used in towards the middle cap. I have been finding myself doing a lot of my job in this ship as a destroyer, right? Like spotting and capping zones more so than I feel like I'm having fun being a destroyer kind of play. The guns are great. So we'll trip the sonar here just because I'm kind of figuring, if there any of these destroyers are up here, they perhaps may have sent some zoning torps through or something, right? So we'll trip the sonar early because we do, and it does last 3 minutes, which is freaking amazing, right? But the range on it is a little bit lacking, I would say, even for a British destroyer. I thought that most of the regular tech tree British destroyers, the ship detection for it was 3.5, and this is 3.2, and so your sweet spot window of being in smoke and being able to shoot unspotted is small, right? So we pick up the Velos here, right, and our concealment isn't the greatest, so I'm gonna try and get a couple of cheap shots as we sneak into the zone and then drop the smoke here. And then we're hitting full on reverse to try and actually go undetected, which works. But we didn't, the Velo shoots his guns there, but there's nobody else around me. I'm literally alone in the B cap. Don't abandon your flank, people. Those of you. It would be nice to have some cruiser support or something out here, right? But anyway, we're, all by myself. Okay, so we got some shots on this Ostergotland, and then we're going to get radared, which is just lovely, isn't it? So, we know there's a cruiser nearby. I'm going to try and wait it out, right? Let's keep pointed in. There's probably Velos again, right? The nice thing about the smoke screen is it does come back very, very quickly. So, we'll have that going for us. And I'm just not firing my guns because I know I'm going to get picked up. We'll be spotted by one of these other ships, right? I'm trying to wait out the radar. So it's the Agilane Montpellier, right? And then there we go, we're unspotted. And then, of course, I'm, since I'm all by myself, I'm the only one spotting these guys, so I have nothing to shoot when I pop the smoke. But I'm like, at minimum, you know what? We could at least maybe cap the zone. But these guys are being relentless. Half of them have nothing else to shoot at, right? So, 27 seconds left with smoke screen. We will take our shots at the Ostergotland. So I'm just gonna. So like I said, they're decent. It's a good. They're decent. They're not great. I think they. I don't know. I think this, and part of it is to my. And yeah, I kept firing when I shouldn't have there, but we would have got picked up by this Velo. So anyway. So I'm like, alright, let's do this. Full forward. I'm at least gonna take him down, right? I'm at least gonna get this guy before I give my ship away. Let's at least trade at minimum, right? Manage to dodge the torpedo, use the damage con, and a half a second left on smoke. Let's do this. You only need 1 health point, guys. You only need 1 health point. You can just waste away all the others. Highly recommend. Just go in, and then once you get down to nothing, then you start playing. Yeah, they're just gonna keep taking the blind shots. But they've got nothing else to shoot at. We'll use our last heal Like the heal, you know, having the heal is really nice as well. We'll take that on. We'll pick on this Ostergotland with our one turret that's still working. I think I had another game earlier where, actually it might be the next game. So I'm doing a doubleheader here, so we'll have another game with this right after this. Where I think that I got like hit by airplanes and like lost one of the turrets. I'm like, man, I am driving around in the most useless boat the entire game right now. Destroyer with no torpedoes and one turret. So like I was like, that's where I was like, I feel like I'm doing the duties, right? Like I'm going and keeping some stuff spotted here and there and capturing zones, and this is my life now with this ship. So I think that, like, I don't know, it needs something. I feel like the guns could be just a tiny bit stronger, or or the sonar could be a little bit better. You know, for a tier H destroyer with sonar, there's some competition out there these days that have some pretty great range. You know, like Lucian in particular, where they would just, you know, they'd sit in their own smoke, pick you up with their sonar, you know, out of range of yours, and you're just gone, right? But yeah, so I'm like, let's see if we can make it into the A cap, and then we get radared. So I'm assuming that the second that this cruiser realizes, you know, sees us via radar, he's going to come out and try and finish us off, right? We don't have a lot of health left. I got to give it to it. It's got some maneuverability here, though. We will move away and duck and weave and avoid firing our guns as much as possible here to see if we can survive. And we do. See if he takes some more blind shots, which seems to be something he likes doing. And then we will smoke, and we will go for retribution here.
Smoke screen set.
Like they do decent damage. Like even against battleships, you know, shooting superstructures and stuff. You know, you do decent damage with these guns. It's just like your smoke screens are short, right? So you only get those moments here and there for, you know, whatever it is, 30 seconds, and then yeah. So it's like, I love unique ships, you know, I love that this is, you know, this double turrets in the front, and that's it, right? And plus only AP, you don't get HE shells, you don't get torpedoes. I love unique ships in this game, but and it's probably, part of it too is, you know, I've only played a handful of games with it, you know, so like, especially with me, it takes me a few games to like get warmed up to a ship, you know, so there's that. Right, I'm not the greatest with ships when I first just grab them and go. But this was fun to try. I'll probably give it a few more games while we have it on rental. And then I'm like, okay, we'll head towards the A cap here, but in reality, there's nothing left for the enemy team to do except for come through the A cap. So we'll have to be a little cautious here. Besides, you know, I mean, you could just YOLO it at this point and give your ship up because your team's probably gonna win. But I wanted to at least like demo and like just see how good I could do against, you know, just shooting a battleship. And I thought that he got spotted. I thought that first Iowa got spotted before I came around the corner. So I thought maybe somebody else was picking him up, but apparently not. Or my smoke blocked them. Right, but this guy's getting picked up by the destroyers that are going out wide. So like, you know, you can do some damage here, but like, if you're in a scenario where you've got to get rid of an Iowa and it's all on you, like, good luck. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, we can do, so yeah, I mean, you do damage, right? And the reload's really great, so you can definitely damage farm. The capability is there. It's just getting yourself into those correct circumstances for the ship can be tough, you know. And I would maintain, you know, we played a big part in the beginning of this game by getting rid of that Velos early on, well, somewhat, and then plus surviving, right? That made it huge. We were able to prevent anything from coming through our flank, or, you know, the middle, basically, for us.
Smoke screen set.
Yeah, I mean, 40,000 damage, 2 kills, zone capture here. Like this, we end up with a really great XP score. But yeah, it's just like, this is, you know, grab a Snickers. 300, 400. Like, it's there. The potential's there. Alright, I just like, maybe a longer smoke screen would be nice too. I don't know. Lots of things would be nice, right? Like on every ship. Now we're gonna get picked up. See if he chooses to fire at us, or if we get clipped by secondaries. Oh, Kansas managed to finish him off. Alright, you know, we're gonna win on points here then, because of that. So we'll take a quick look at the leaderboard, and then I've got another game queued up. May or may not be just as interesting. I don't. We're, you know, like, yeah, see, here we go. 2700 XP. That does put us at the top of the leaderboard. I think I do a little bit better XP in the XP range. I think we break 3,000 in the next game. And then, you know, we come out with 300 grand in silver. So that's great, you know. Alright, so now we're on shards. Same ship, and we end up with, so there's only one destroyer here on the enemy team. Can't remember if we get put up. Yeah, it's another Velos. I think it ends up on our side. So I think we get a similar situation where we've got this one-on-one. And it's just like, I just need that sonar to be just like, I need it to be the 3.5, you know? Like, I need... Because I think that's what we were doing in, like, the, you know, last season's ranked, where it was 1v1 destroyers. It was tier 6, right? And I used the Jervis, you know, the regular tech tree destroyer, and I think that tier 6 one had 3.5 kilometer range for picking up ships. And so you had this nice sweet spot of, like, between 2.5 and 3.5, where you wouldn't get spotted if you're sitting in smoke. And it was just like, you know, we were able to plow through that ranked season. So yeah, I think I live streamed that one, so if you're interested in that, check that out. But yeah, okay, here's Velos. I do love so I did not buy the campaign for Velos, right? I didn't need drachmas, and I didn't, but like the coolest thing about that is I love the camo, the paint job that you get with that thing. But yeah. So Velos smoked, I smoked. We got sonar going. We can't pick him up because it's not good enough range. We're gonna play thread the needle here. This is gonna be a tough one. We can do it. Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna press in on him here in a second because, you know, I see the smoke spreading. I'm like, you know, we've got the twist and track. We've got the, you know, the tracker or whatever. But like the concern, of course, is, you know, he's got his smoke. His smoke lasts longer. The concern's going to be when I get picked up with these battleships, I'll decide to team up on me or not, right? Like we've got a decent health pool with this ship, and I do have Sims as inspiration to give us a little bit more. Just because you're going, you know, you put yourself in these situations, you're going toe to toe with these, and I was like super annoyed it didn't lock on automatically for me. Anyway, bitterness aside, like we wreck him, like it works great. We'll pop our smoke, but I think we're within the distance of like the firing guns and smoke penalty, because that's not the greatest on this ship either. So like your freebie window is pretty tiny. So we'll damage con the fires. We managed to take, you know, skin of our teeth again, get rid of their their destroyer, and win the zone, at least for now. I'm like, all right, we got 20 seconds of smoke left. Let's see what we can do against Bismarck, right? So I'm just always aiming high. And we'll we'll hang out, get the zone cap. We got the Montpellier out there again. I did not play these two games like at the same time, like anywhere near the same time. I'm certain those are not the same people, but it's kind of funny that we got up against a Velos and another Montpellier. It's just because they're new ships, right? Like somebody's spending money on the Azure Lane stuff. And then Velos was, you know, the previous campaign ship when we did this video, right? So But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So I come out here and I'm not going to fire guns. I'm going to get the zone cap and I'm spotting this cruiser. I actually look back at the cruiser a couple of times here and I'm like, why hasn't... There are 4 battleships on my team behind me here. Like they're abandoning all other zones. I'm like, how is this cruiser still alive? Like, what is going on? So this Bismarck and Georgia, they do manage to take out the battleship just to the south of us, right? Like coming around the outside of the A cap. And then here, I think I check on the let's check on the cruiser here, because I'm looking at the mini. I'm like, I'm hoping that this Bismarck or Georgia keeps coming, and of course they're not. So then I look over at the cruiser and I'm like, oh, okay, somebody finally at least hit it. It took a good chunk out of him. But I was like super annoyed that he was still alive and he's sailing broadside to literally almost 4 battleships on my team that all came over to ACAT. So of course we've lost C. And you know, the one remaining cruiser that's over there on our team, I kind of don't blame him. Like if you're, you know, try and survive, right? Like if you've got to, you're the last one over there and you need to abandon, like that I get, right? But like everybody else like should have at least tried to put up somewhat of a fight over there, right? But so we'll move away from the cap here. We're within spotting range if that battleship comes around the corner behind us, so I'm trying to get out of that range. We've of course got smoke if we need it. We'll use it if we need it. But we of course have you know, we've consumed quite a bit of health pool resource here, and now we're at 5.7 kilometers for our spotting, so we're good now. But now we can at least we can use these smoke screens and get a few shots here.
Generator activated.
Yeah, 900, almost 1,000 there. I don't know what we hit. Everything out now, it's like 200s. There we go. 1080. 1089. We get the kill? Oh, yes.
The enemy battleship destroyed.
Kill, steal. We'll take it. Alright, now we go and spot and try and cap zones again. See, I feel like I don't know if you know, when we get good XP scores, I've been getting good XP scores with this ship if you play it correctly, right, like we've done. I mean, we've been a little risky early on, but we've, you know, I built into that risky behavior, right? Like we've got Sims on here to get us some extra health. Who else I put on here? Oh, I think I did somebody with faster reload, right? So like we know we're gonna put ourselves in those situations to get into those gunfights. So we kind of build into that for the sake of, you know, that's where our strength is going to be, or that's how we're going to play. We'll build into that. And then, like, the rest of the back of the ship, it's all AA mounts. So you would think you'd have, like, just wicked awesome AA, but it's kind of feels so-so. I don't know if you, like, if you were to, you know, go all out with an AA build, maybe. I mean, it'd be something... If you had this ship permanently, it might be something worth investigating, but I was just like, I didn't even feel the strength without it, so I was like, no, I'm not doing that. We're using the guns. Alright, we'll see if we can get around this corner here enough to at least pick up this cruiser, and hopefully somebody can finish this cruiser off. But yeah, now we're in this situation where everyone's going to mash into each other at the B-hole here. Oh, there's the Monarch. And then we're going to run into this situation too, like we're the forward-most ship again. So if I want something to shoot, if I smoke, I got to pay attention because I'm probably the only one spotting everything. This Nebraska maybe, carrier might be picking him up. So we'll sneak into the zone, we'll smoke, and then see if we can get some shots off on him. Looks like we're going to be able to get a little bit. He's low on health, so that's nice. And then you want to, you know, aim for the guts, right? Don't aim for the hull. Aim like just below the flight deck. Right, typically like right behind the guns too is a really good spot to shoot these guys. Yeah, kind of right in there. Yeah, a bunch of ricochets there. Yeah, I want to aim more forward towards the guns here. And then I see the plane icon come up, so he sees our smoke screen, so he's going to try and dump something on us. Send torpedoes through. See if we can stay in the zone. Pull forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. Got it. Got torpedoes from probably the Nebraska dropping doing an airstrike, and then the carrier as well trying to get us as well. So do that, and then we're gonna smoke again. And the cruiser's already trying to take the zone back, so that's frustrating. I can't press too much forward because I'll be within spotting range of him then at that point, and I don't have any health left. So we may have to let him cap this zone. We're doing a little bit better damage dealt-wise than we were last game. Monarch seems a little more squishy than the Iowas were that we ended up having to shoot. I'm gonna try and like get I should have thought of this earlier. Try and get a cheap shot on the cruiser to try and reset the zone cap. But we're gonna lose our smoke screen here, so I stopped firing. I should have been doing that earlier, is what I should have been doing. I didn't think of it until it's too late. Yeah, he came out further than I was expecting anyway. So it's a good thing we were backing up because he came up a little bit more.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And then one more second. We got one more smoke screen. It's tough to tell whether we should save this or not. We'll do it. Let's shoot him. Yeah, I mean, the damage farming capability is there. It's just tough with these short duration smoke screens. I almost wish it had, you know, your like 2 or 3 smokes and then with like longer lasting. Let's see if we can nab this kill. If we can get hits. There we go. 2 kills.
We destroyed an enemy
With guns only. Couple more seconds before the smoke runs out, so we'll take some cheap shots at the Republic. 1400 there. Probably from two rounds. Bullets. Up to 61,000 damage. 2 solo zone captures, and potentially a third here as we go into the B-hole yet again to try and get the zone. They were, actually they still are. I was going to say they were up on points for a while, but yes, they are still beating us. And then I didn't, like, realize, it's tough to, it's always a tough call, right? There's a battleship behind us, right? There's a Republic back there. And I don't know what our battleship is thinking. He's literally broadside to this Republic. But it's like, I wanna help with this, this Monarch up here? Yeah, like I want to help with him. He just used a heal. He got a good chunk of health back. But we're definitely going to need the zone. I think we had, like, our carrier is going after the Republic, just looking at the mini-map. So we at least have that going for us. And then it's always like so tempting to, like, when this Monarch gets low, like, do I start shooting at him? And then I saw, like, I'm like, oh yeah, they've got their carrier too. So their carrier is picking on our Richelieu here. So I was like, all right, maybe I can go closer to the Richelieu and help, like, create a little bit better of an AA bubble, and or maybe he has a will to rebuild too, and we can see if we can, like, save him. And then I didn't realize just there, but the Republic on the enemy team went down. So we've got that going for us. That puts us ahead on points as well. And then I can't get to this Richelieu in time. And then I was like, oh, Monarch's got like nothing left, right? So we take our shots. But I think somebody else finishes them off here, yeah. I'm hitting the turrets. You see, like, I should have aimed higher and further back. But yeah, we got no damage done when we hit the turret. So the airplanes see us now. So that's going to be his sole purpose in life, is to kill us. I'm like, I will ram you if I could get there. You know, there's only a minute and a half left. I'm like, I probably can't get to him in time. But it would be interesting to see, like, what kind of damage numbers we could put up shooting the carrier. So he's going to drop head on, so we'll head straight in towards him. See if we can't dodge these. Oh man, and those two in the middle. That was brutal. There's two in the middle, just like, I wish it didn't. Like, I never get that good when I play as Gary, right? They have like torpedoes just center lined like that. Alright, we can get around these. There we go. And he's going to come at us with the bombers now. 40 seconds left though, so we'll see. I think he ends up, so I'm like swerving as much as I can here. Right, you want to go straight for a little bit to like get some speed built up and then make your turns, you know, randomly, whatever. But yeah, he damages one turret and then completely destroys the other one. Oh my god. At least it's like towards the end of the game, and like that didn't happen like early on, but I was like, dude, I got nothing else. We do have 25 planes shot down, and granted, like he didn't spend the entire game going after us. But some of those were, what? There was torpedo bombers from the Nebraska, and then there was the cruiser that can do the air bomber attacks. I think, did we see some of those this game too? But yeah, and then we were sitting in our smoke screen in the B-hole for a little while there, while he dropped torpedoes through, so he didn't get hits on us there. But yeah, we get 3,100 XP, so the zone caps really helped us out there. But yeah, I kind of find myself in this ship, you know, if we can win that destroyer battle early on, you know, then I end up low with health, and then I spend, you know, doing the dirty work the rest of the game, right? Like getting, you know, spotting ships and capping zones, which is fine. Like if you want to win the game, that's the way you got to play, you know, quite a bit. So when you're a destroyer, it happens. 364,000 silver we walk away with. I'll go through how I have this commander built. I would think another thing too that would be nice with some of these British ships, you don't get propulsion mod in the second mod slot here. So, you know, I went aiming system, but I mean, you could pick any of these, right? Like, if you were doing an AAA build, maybe that would help, you know? Like, maybe you could go all out on AA and just wreck, but then, you know, if you get in a game without a carrier, then it's useless, right? But yeah, here for the second slot, you don't get the propulsion mod as a choice. So I went with steering gears. That maybe saved us from some torpedoes potentially, right? We had a couple that we dodged early on. But yeah, propulsion mod, I probably, like, I'm a sucker for it, so I'd probably pick that if it was there. And then concealment, and then I went with gunfire control system, right? Better dispersion and range. You could pick the reload time. Traverse speed is kind of fine, so I wouldn't mind taking the hit on the traverse speed. But then, yeah, there's another AA mod here that you could choose if you wanted to go all out with AA. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that could be a shtick for this one. And then, yeah, I'm using Philip Vane, so, like, you know, nobody fancy here, this free-to-play commander. And then Inspiration Sims, also free-to-play. I think Mordock, or whatever this guy, I always forget his name. Yeah, Mordoff, yeah. Like, I think I got him from a crate, who knows how far back, so I don't think he's a free guy. But, I mean, anything with, like, buff your AP guns or reload, right? Like, there's other choices in there that would be just as good. And then here's one, too. So this quick fix is, you know, this one also, it gets rid of it helps with splash damage, but it also allows for reduced mobility with a disabled engine and or rudder, which is kind of the same thing as what Unstoppable does for you. So I was like, you know, maybe we go no-fly zone here, you know, for this ship specifically, right? Like, but like on my other destroyers, you know, I want, you know, you get, you know, like, it's just tough to say, because this rather be torching, this only buffs the HE shells, right? So I could potentially use this for, you know, and it's increased fire chance, you know, it's nothing like, you know, so like you could potentially do that if you were using this commander for, you know, your other destroyers that have HE, but you can't do that here, right? So maybe I go no fly zone and leave Unstoppable on, and then we get a little bit better AA, right? Like, but like I said, you know, if you end up, you know, so you're in a division with a carrier, you know, you have that decent chance of not being in a carrier game. But I mean, with all the other like ships that can do airstrikes and stuff these days, maybe it's still it's still worth it. I went perceptive here, and then sidestep for the better range and incoming fire dispersion. The smoke one is just like the smoke screens, smoke on the water. The other perk there is just so tough to use because you get like your smoke duration is so short to start with that a % increase on it isn't that big, right? So I'll just quick scroll through the specs here for this ship since it is a new one, and that's it's a rental this week or this update, whatever, for however long, who knows. But when you rent it, you get it for 7 days, so then you're done. But yeah, like I mean, AA defense, like it looks like there's a lot of AA guns, but it didn't feel like I was doing that much in the way of damage. And like the farthest out range, the base was 5 kilometers, which is kind of your baseline, at least what I consider, for like if it's a little better than that, it's good. If it's a little worse than that, you're probably a lower tier or something, so concealment, we got 5.7. So those numbers there too, you got to keep in mind, those were with our selected commander. So I was just curious, like I will go in here, if I go, another 5% firing range, if I change that perk and then go and look at AA, yeah, so that like the bottom one there, it buffs the range from 5.0 kilometers to 5.3 kilometers, a little bit, but like, so maybe we'll try that, do a few games, see how it goes. But yeah, make sure you're following the channel, guys. I've got doing videos on at least 3 of the rental ships that I picked up for being an idiot and didn't realize it was rental, right? But yeah, make sure you're following the channel. We'll do videos on those, and then yeah, I do World of Warships videos pretty much every day. So we'll see you next time.